Ever laughed so hard at a movie that your stomach hurt? Yeah, same here. And if you're anything like me, chances are, Will Ferrell was the reason behind that kind of laughter. Remember Elf, Anchorman, or Step Brothers? Those movies weren't just funny, they were legendary. Will Ferrell was the guy. Everywhere you looked, his face was there. Every comedy fan had him on their list of favorites. He made being silly into an art form. But lately, something feels off, doesn't it? Like he's not around as much. And when he is, it's just not the same. His movies don't hit like they used to. The spark that once made him shine so brightly, it feels dimmer now. And you can't help but wonder, what actually happened? Where did he go? Why does it feel like we lost the old Will Ferrell without even realizing it? This story isn't just about movies or box office numbers. It's deeper than that. It's about chasing success, losing your way, and trying to figure out who you really are when everyone expects you to stay the same forever. So if you've ever felt like you weren't allowed to grow or change, you're definitely going to connect with this one. Let's go back to where it all started. The late 1990s. Will Ferrell was everywhere. He joined Saturday Night Live, and almost overnight, people couldn't get enough of him. His impressions, hilarious, his energy, unmatched, and let's not forget, his George W. Bush character. That became a pop culture moment. He brought this weird, goofy charm to everything he did. He was loud, unpredictable, and just flat out funny. Then came the movies. Old School, Elf, Anchorman, Talladega Nights, hit after hit, and not just small hits. These were movies people quoted for years. He was the king of absurd comedy. He could act like a clueless man-child, a delusional race car driver, or a ridiculous news anchor, and we'd still cheer him on. He had this special ability to make even the most over-the-top character feel real and lovable. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. When someone becomes that successful in a specific role, the world kind of traps them in that box. You get stuck playing the same version of yourself over and over. And Will, he wanted something more. Around the mid-2010s, he started stepping away the roles we all knew him for. He tried more dramatic characters. He backed indie films. He even took risks with projects that didn't follow the usual Hollywood formula. But those risks, not all of them paid off. You might have heard about Holmes and Watson. Honestly, a lot of people wish they hadn't. Credited it. Fans were disappointed. Even loyal followers who had grown up watching Step Brothers were left scratching their heads. The jokes fell flat. The timing felt off. It just didn't have that classic Will Ferrell charm. And it wasn't just a one-time thing. Movie after movie, something felt different. Like he wasn't fully in it anymore. And you start to wonder, was it just a bad script? Or was something else going on? Let's break it down together. First, there's something called creative burnout. Imagine being expected to be hilarious every day for decades. You show up, people want laughs. You work on a project, people expect gold. That kind of pressure. It's exhausting. Will Ferrell even said in interviews that constantly chasing laughs became a heavy burden. It stopped being fun. And when you stop enjoying what you do, magic, it fades. He wanted to try new things. He wanted to grow. But Hollywood, and let's be honest, even some fans, didn't want that. They wanted more Ron Burgundy, more Buddy the Elf, and when he tried to step outside those roles, people didn't really follow. Then there's the story of Gary Sanchez Productions. It was a company Will started with his longtime friend and creative partner, Adam McKay. These two were more than just co-workers. They were a dream team. They had a vision, they made hit after hit, and they built something that felt unstoppable. But in 2019, everything changed. Their partnership ended. And not just professionally, they stopped being friends too. Here's what happened. McKay was working on an HBO series about the Lakers. Will really wanted to play the role of team owner Jerry Buss. But McKay gave the role to John C. Reilly instead. And the worst part, he didn't even tell Will directly, he just did it. No heads up, no conversation. Will found out like everyone else. And that broke something. McKay later admitted he handled it badly. He even said he fumbled the whole thing. But by then, it was too late. The damage was already done. Now imagine that. Not only do you lose your creative partner, but you also lose one of your closest friends. Someone who helped shape your career. That kind of loss, it cuts deep, and you can't just bounce back from that overnight. Without that support system, without that same spark of collaboration, Will's next moves felt off, like he was drifting a bit, trying to figure it out on his own. And you could feel that shift in the movies. The comedy felt uneven. The characters felt less grounded. It just wasn't the same. That's the thing with comedy. It's not just about jokes. It's about rhythm, chemistry, trust. When those things get shaken up, everything else follows. Now, let's talk about something experts call identity freeze. It happens when someone becomes so well known for one thing that they feel stuck. You're known as the funny guy, so you have to be the funny guy. Forever. No room to evolve. No space to try something new without everyone saying, "What happened to you?" And that's exactly what happened to Will. He got locked into this identity, and the moment he tried to break free, the audience didn't know how to react. The world wanted the old Will, but he wanted to explore a different side of himself. In one interview, Will said, "If I'm not laughing at what I'm doing, what's the point?" That really says it all, doesn't it? He wasn't laughing anymore. And honestly, that's the saddest part. But here's the hopeful twist. Just because someone steps back or takes a hit, doesn't mean they're done. A lot of people believe Will's just entering a new phase. Something more personal, more thoughtful. Think of Tom Hanks when he moved from comedies to dramas. Or Jim Carrey after The Truman Show. It's a slow transition and it's hard, but it's possible. And honestly, it takes guts to go through that kind of reinvention. Especially in front of the whole world. So here's the real takeaway. Will Ferrell's story isn't just about fading fame. It's about what happens when your passion starts to feel like pressure. When the thing that once brought you joy starts weighing you down. It's about finding your way back to yourself when the world keeps pointing to the past. Have you ever felt like that? Like you've outgrown a part of yourself, but everyone around you keeps pulling you back? If you have, you're not alone. And Will Ferrell's journey might be more relatable than any of us realized. So now I want to ask you, have you ever felt stuck being a version of yourself that no longer fits? Maybe it's a job, a relationship, or just the way people see you. Drop your story in the comments. Seriously, I'd love to hear it. And if this video made you see Will Ferrell a little differently, check out our deep dive on why Jim Carrey disappeared from Hollywood. You'll be surprised at how similar their stories really are. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to hit like. If you want more stories that go beneath the surface, tap subscribe. And hey, ring the bell too, because we've got plenty more to explore together. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. And remember, behind every joke, there's often a deeper story. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.